So yesterday we have done till water logging. Salinity you have seen. It will be seen in a satellite image. We have done this frost scattering, frost heaving. Now all the land degradation processes which are induced directly or indirectly by human intervention and are not natural are categorized as man-made desertation processes. It includes mining, brick clean, industrial effluents, city waste, city waste, urban agglomeration. This occurs across various land use land cover. So whenever you will see a satellite image, you can identify the various kinds of mining areas using the satellite image. So how the open cast mining in AWIP's image covered up Jharkhand with corresponding field photographs. So you can see that how in a satellite image you will be identifying the open cast mining area. So you can see the reflection of the mining area. So this is a terrain from which I am coming. So I know the terrain very well, how the various kinds of mining operation is being performed and how gradually we are degrading the land in that area. So that whenever you see such kind of reflectance in your satellite image, that is a representation of mining area. So mining area is a good topic of research for anybody who's interested in research, because these are those research or those areas which has been explored or is being exploited by the various agency related to coal. But still many of the resources, especially mining area in Jharkhand, is unidentified, undiscovered. So using the various remote sensing and GIS techniques, you can identify the new resources of coal in that area. So remote sensing is of great advantage for the discovery of various kinds of mineral resources. Now what this all categories will be classified under land degradation category. So the next category is barren oblique rocky. Barren means a rock, a hill without any kind of vegetation. So barren rocks are kind of wasteland. Rocks are kind of wasteland which do not have productive capacity. So any land without any productive capacity will be classified under wasteland, that is of no use. So these areas are mostly without or negligible soil cover because they are devoid of vegetation. That is indicated of that the rock is devoid of soil cover either due to weathering and erosion of exogenetic processes or due to specific regolith made of hard rock terrain. So either it can be because of the weathering in that area or because the rock is so hard that the plants or different kinds of trees doesn't have the capacity to grow up. So this satellite images shows how barren rock will be seen on a satellite image. So you can see that such kind of reflectance in an area where it is generally in cyan green in color and distributed over a larger area, followed by you can have some water body associated near to it or some agricultural land, because along the downslope or downsleeve you will be getting some agriculture. So you can see that this is a field photographs of the Aravali's of the Rajasthan, where you can identify the same area has been mapped and is shown in the satellite image, and the same area represented on the ground. So you can see that this area is so hard that there is no soil, so there is no crop, no plant, no trees. So, what will be the impact of desertification? Why it's important? We have seen the various kinds of categories of land degradation and how it is going to hamper the environment. So, because if the desertification increases, you will have loss of biological productivity. Means flora and fauna will be gone, and because there is no biological property or productivity attached to it, you will have loss of economy because there is no uh, food, there is no living standard. So you will have a loss of economy, and that will create a complexity in the landscape because you will create an imbalance in the environment because each and everything plays an important role in the ecosystem services. So reduction in the ability of the land to support life, what will happen? It will affect the wildlife. The wildlife, many of the wildlife can be endangered, can extinct, then domestic animal needs grazing land for food, fodder, drinking water. So if the land is tough, the land is devoid of vegetation, means the land has a poor water table. And at last, this will directly affect to your milking farming capacity. The agricultural crop will reduce because of the low capacity of the rain, and gradually the people will migrate to some other places, so that gradually reduces the plant cover, and that leads to soil erosion, and overall the movement of people creates conflict because the people you will see in many of the states like in Maharashtra, if the persons from UP, Bihar, West Bengal go for a job, many times you'll be seeing on the television that the local peoples put agitation towards them, or maybe in Gujarat, because they want that their resources, their economy must be utilized by their own personal. They have got the first right, and the people who have migrated from the other places uh, doesn't have that capacity or doesn't have that. So desertification needs a very important identification. India is a signatory to the United Nations Convention for combating desertification under deserting monitoring identification. So SAC is the Space Application Center is the nodal organization to coordinate under the roof of Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. One of the key requirement of the project is inventory and monitoring of the vegetation and the land degradation categories using satellite image. We have already seen here how the satellite images plays an important role in classifying this desertification category. Then you have to identify the indicators. There must be a modification methodology for classifying the desertification classes, and finally you will have a classification scheme. So desertification and land degradation status mapping has been started from 2011 to 13 and 2003 to 5 at a scale of 1 is to 50,000 using IRS, AWIFs, and chain detection analysis has been performed. And for desertification, uh, another 78 districts were selected where a high resolution least 3 data of the same period was taken into consideration for mapping and monitoring those classes. So, what are the classification system that has been adopted by Government of India, given the responsibility was given to Space Application Center and Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change is seeing the entire process. So, what are those levels? So, the entire land degradation category has been classified into three categories. One is level 1, other one is level 2, and the third one is level 3. See, all the work, all the categories have been defined. So what you will be doing in level 1? In level 1, you will be just identifying the various land use categories, land cover categories. Means agriculture, irrigated land. Means all the land which is under cultivation will be mapped will be monitored, and that has been given a symbology I. Then agriculture unirrigated. So all the agricultural land which doesn't have the capacity or which doesn't have the connectivity of getting any irrigated or it's unirrigated will be classified under the second class and has been denoted by letter D. Third one is forest oblique plantation, that has been classified under F followed by P for plantation, F for forest. Then you have to identify, because we are looking for desertification, so you have to map all these grasslands, grassy land denoted by G, land with scrubs denoted by S, barren rock B, rocky area R, dune or sandy area by E, glaciers C, periglaciers L, and other class as T. So these are the various land use categories that you have to map in order to get a desertification status of that area. And finally, the government of India prepares the desertification or land degradation atlas of India for each and every state, so that we can see whether our land are not being converted into deserted land, what is the current status, and how and what process we have to adopt so that this desertification can be stopped. Then second level is process of desertification. Process of desertification means what is the agent through which those features are getting those kinds of degradation. So when it is agriculture, it will be vegetation degradation denoted by V. This is the process through which this desertification is being done. Then irrigated and agriculture unirrigated under water erosion. W, if it is done by water, then it will be W. If it has been done by wind erosion, it will be classified under E. If it is a salinity or alkalinity, then S oblique E. If it is water logging, it will be designation by I. Mass movement, it will be designated by G. Frost having, denoted by H. Frost shattering, denoted by F. Man-made F. This already we have done in yesterday's class. And level 3 will be the severity, ki how severe this category is in that particular class and the area. So we have classified into three category depending on its severity. The first one is one code has been given to slight severity is there. Second is moderate severity is there, and third one is severe severity is there. So the purpose of giving this severity ranking is by seeing the severity. I can get the area, that which are the area which should be taken first, which are the area which should be taken in phase 2, and which are the area which should be taken in phase 3. So if the severity is less, obviously I'll be concentrating more on the areas which are having a higher severity. So how would I know which area is under higher severity? So remote sensing and satellite images provide you the various classes which will be classified using satellite images, and their severity index will be prepared, and thereafter will be creating a methodology for creating this severity. So what we'll do, this is the methodology that the government of India has adopted for mapping of land degradation category in that area or for the entire country. So first what we'll do, we'll take 3 season satellite images. 3 season satellite images means in India we have got 3 seasons of cropping pattern generally we have. So what are those seasons? Always keep in your mind, when we say Kharif season, the Kharif season is denoted by the month October till December. Means 4 months, the entire year has been classified. 4 plus 4 plus 4 makes 12. So what is this for? This is post monsoon. Post monsoon is Kharif season. So Kharif season starts from October, goes till December. Then you have got Rabi season, that starts from January, goes till March, and you have got summer season. We have got April till June. This is summer season. So we'll be taking the satellite images of all these seasons. Means from we'll take some satellite images from October. We'll take the other satellite image from January, and we'll take another satellite image from April. Why this three season satellite images is important? Because to have a holistic view and understanding of the area, if you are doing only on the basis of a particular season, maybe in that particular season the land is uncultivated, then if you're taking a single season data, you cannot have a real understanding of the area, because many of the features will be cultivated, some of the features won't be cultivated. But in the next season you are going to grow rabi season. So if I'll be taking only one season data, maybe my classification of classifying the land use, land cover classes is not so accurate if we compare with a three season data. So whenever you try to have a real basic understanding related to land degradation of wasteland, you must always follow, or you must always take three seasons data for your study. So what we'll do, we'll take three season data, thereafter georeferencing will be done. Georeferencing means geo-rectification will be done. Thereafter, they will be performing, or will be performing on scale visual interpretation. There are two methods through which you can classify, either through visual interpretation or using digital classification. But as far as the space applications is concerned, they give more emphasis on visual interpretation, because the classes accuracy is very high if you compare that with digital classification, where each and every vector, whatever you have digitized, is evaluated, it's weighted, and the accuracy level is very high. Thereafter, ancillary data, maybe for understanding of the local knowledge, will be taking, like about soil, about geology, about geomorphology, about the water hydrology. Will be taking some ancillary data from various agencies, and this ancillary data can be forest boundary for any, to in order to see the forest, the agricultural land under forest category, you will be requiring those forest boundary from forest survey of India. Then water boundaries, rivers, administrative bodies related to your state boundary, related to your block boundary, related to your country boundary. You will be consulting or taking it from natural resource database that provides the exact boundaries of each and every state, block, districts, country as a whole. Thereafter, we'll be taking the rail and road network connectivity from the various wetland inventory and assessment. On all this GIS data sets will be prepared, will be digitizing those all the features on the satellite images, and primary desertification map will be prepared, and this desertification map has to be validated in the field ki whatever polygons we have created, whatever roads we have created, whatever forest boundary we have created, will be going into the field with limited ground check of each and every representative of the category. Will be doing few samplings in each and every class that will be distributed throughout the area, and thereafter we'll be producing a quality check. Quality check means maybe at some of the areas maybe we have misclassified. We'll go into the field, we'll be checking it ki whether the same, like if you go, you find that some of the classes was under vegetation and you have classified that class into land with scrub. You'll be going it, you'll be seeing it. Thereafter, coming back from the field, you'll be rectifying all the misclassed categories, and thereafter you'll prepare a final desertification atlas map of the area, and finally you will show how the what are the area under which each category has been mapped ki what is the area of barren rock, what is the area under irrigation, what is the area under wetlands, what are the areas under salinity, And if you go on performing from 2011 to till date, so we can have a clear understanding whether the desertification in any area, the classes have increased or decreased. If it is increasing, that is of great concern. If it is decreasing, means whatever strategies, management, or mitigation measures provided by government of India or state government has a positive side. So that helps in monitoring and assessment. So what are the highlights of analysis of what the Space Application Center has done? So you can see that 96.40 million hectares of area, that is 32, near about 30% of the total geographical area. Out of total geographical area, 30% of the country is undergoing process of land degradation. Means 30% is a very big amount that is going under land degradation. Out of that, 95.53 million hectares, that is 28.76 percentage of the country total geographical area is going in 2003 to 2005. So there is two season data where we have classified the desertification classes, and you can see that the area of the desertification classes is increased. Means there is an increase in desertification class, means whatever strategies that we have adopted is not showing any positive field or positive signature in the field. That's why your land degradation capacity or the classes have increased. That is of great concern to the ministry and to the state government. So around 23.95 and 23.64 desertification of the total land area is contributed by. So major land cover categories, in which state, if the government of India wants to implement, mitigate, and to have a proper implementation of the development watershed management activities in that area, which are the states that are of prime concern or prime thrust by the government? The first is Rajasthan, where we are suggested you have got a very deserted area. Thereafter, you have got Maharashtra, Gujarat, Jammu and Kashmir, Karnataka, Jharkhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and Telangana. So they are the major states in which the land degradation category is there, and there is also showing a positive trend. Positive trend means negative trend, I will say. I will not say positive trend. Negative trend means the area under the desertification classes, if you compare from 2003 to 2011, that is increasing, and the remaining states are contributed less than 1% to desertification or the land degradation category. So you can see that the majority, 99%, are restricted to Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Jammu, Karnataka, Jharkhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and Telangana. So there is a cumulative increase of 1.87 million hectares undergoing process of desertification, land degradation category during the time frame from 2003 to 2011. So you can see that how satellite images can be used and can be applied for the monitoring of desertification in any area. In the current example, you can see in a span of near about 8 years, the desertification land has increased. If you map it today, maybe the process or the area will be high. So finally, you will see a map that the government has, that the Space Application Center has prepared. This is the land degradation map showing the various land degradation categories mapped by Space Application Center. So you can see that which are the categories under what classes. So you can see that in the lesion, the entire area has been classified with a description ki what is the area under vegetation, what is the area under grassland, what is the area under scrub with proper symbology. The classes with the same will be classified in the same color. The classes like forest, grassland, land with scrubs are shown in green with different kinds of symbol. Agriculture, irrigated, agriculture, unirrigated forest, land with scrub, with water erosion, barren, sandy dune, and we are also writing which are the factors that are creating those erosions, whether it is because of vegetation degradation, whether that is because of water erosion, whether it is because of wind erosion, whether it's because of salinity, alkalinity, whether it's because of water logging, whether it's because of forest shattering, whether it's because of man-made. So you'll see that many of the features like agriculture, forest, land barren are water erosion related features. Sand dunes, agriculture irrigated, agriculture unirrigated. They are can be because of water, can be because of wind. So we'll be checking why it is, whether that is related to wind or whether that is related to water. In same way, the agriculture irrigated, it is converted into salinity or it is converted grassland. So all the water features, the factors will be classified, and finally you can see that any decision maker by seeing the area, by seeing the category, can see whether the classes is increasing and decreasing. We are stationed in Rajasthan, so you can see that the maximum uh, erosion are shown in brown in color. So brown relative of wind erosion. So in Rajasthan, you'll be finding agriculture irrigated wind erosion, agriculture unirrigated wind erosion, land with scrub wind erosion, barren wind erosion. At same plot, you'll be getting blue in color, that is dark blue and light blue. So you'll be finding that each and every parcel of land and each and every is classified and is providing accurate information of that area. So what you will do, you will now classify and you will see what is the percentage of land degradation category that each and every state is contributing to the country's total geographical area. So you will see that Rajasthan has got the maximum area under land degradation category, comprising of 7%. 7% is a very large percentage. Thereafter by Maharashtra, that comprises 4%, Gujarat 3%, Jammu 2%, Karnataka 2%, Jharkhand 1.67%, Odisha 1.6, then Madhya Pradesh 1.6, Telangana 1, and thereafter Himachal, Uttar Pradesh, and so on. So by doing such kind of analysis, we can see which states or which districts must be taken into first phase, which in second, and which are the area that is of prime concern in terms of the decades of changes that it has happened. So you can see that which is the area where the degradation has increased or decreased. So you can see that in 2003 is represented by blue in color, and 2011 30 is represented by brown in color. So you can see that in many of the states the land degradation category, like in Delhi, previously in 2003 it was 49.57%. Now it has grown to 60.60%. Means the area under the land category has increased. Now we have to go and we have to see why this land category and which kind of land category has increased. So you can see that in many of the states, the land category has increased in 2011. Means we have to check, we have to assess the groundwater condition, the area under the various kind of erosion. So you can see that what are the processes of desertification of the land. Here we have given the processes, what is the total area under desertification, total geographical area of the country, what was the area in 2011, what was the area in 2003, and how much percent of area that was covered by vegetation degradation, or what was the area that was confined to water erosion, what was the area confined to wind erosion. So you can see that the maximum erosion is being done because of water erosion followed by vegetation degradation and at last wind erosion. They comprises the major portion of the entire process of desertification. And finally we'll compare this with 2003 with 2011, and we'll see what are the change means positive, change means negative. Means previously the vegetation degradation has increased from 2003 to 2005. That is a positive change, where previously it was 29.30, now it is 28.28. Means the vegetation degradation category has decreased, means the area has decreased, means we are doing some good activities, we are performing some best activities. That's why that degradation category is reducing, and we have converted the unproductive land to productive land. That's why that category has reduced. But in few categories like wind erosion, salinity, you will be seeing that negative changes means previously it was less, now it has increased. So, in such condition, if you do a change analysis, you can have a real understanding of the area, which classes is increasing, which classes are decreasing, and you can have a proper. The most significant process of desertification, land degradation in the country is water erosion. Means in 2011, 11%, and in 2003 it was 10.83%. The second most significant process is vegetation degradation, followed by wind erosion. So these are the major processes which are of concern to Government of India. Now, if you compare the process wide, which process it provides you the maximum kind of degradation in any area, so we have classified 2003 and 2011. So you will see that what is the situation in 2003. The vegetation was erosion was 8.6. Now it has increased to 8.91. The same is for water erosion. Means the water related process of desertification is increasing, so is with wind erosion, salinity, and so on. So that gives a real representation whenever you are doing any kind of change detection in any area. Now, what are the areas under desertification? Under we have classified this entire a region into regions. The entire first we have classified into various categories. Now we'll be classifying this on the basis of regions. So, what are the regions that you can see in India? One is arid region. You will see in Rajasthan, the western Rajasthan, and in the northern Jammu and Kashmir, the entire region is classified under the category arid. Then you have got the next category as semi-arid, that is major portion of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra. This will be classified under semi-arid condition. Then subhumid, major portion of Punjab, Haryana, UP, Bihar, Odisha, are classified under the category subhumid, and other category northeastern states, then some part of Odisha, then some parts of Maharashtra, and then Kerala will be classified under the category others. Now we'll be will be overlaying or vectors of various land use, land cover desertification, what we have overlaid with this vectors, and we'll clip that area. So when we'll clip that area, we'll be getting what are the regions under arid condition, what is the vegetation degradation category, what is the water erosion category, what is the wind erosion category, what was in 2011, what was in 2003, so that we can have a real understanding of which region is experiencing the highest number of desertification, and in which region the desertification is increasing, and in which region the desertification is reducing. So you can see that 18.264 million hectares was in 2011, 8.4 in 2003. So more significant desertification process is wind erosion in arid region, that is very prominent, and second is vegetation degradation and water erosion in semi-arid and dry summit humid condition. So we can have a chain detection analysis. A map will be prepared where we will be showing what are the changes in that area that has happened over the decade. We'll be overlaying it and then we'll be showing the chain detection map. So here you can see that four colors has been given in order to represent the same area, and the changes have been shown for the same categories. So what was there in 2003, what was there in 2011, what is the area that has changed, and what is the demand. So dark green, there is no apparent degradation in 2011, and all the green color, dark green color has been reclaimed. Reclaimed means it has been now taken into some productive activity like crop plantation, grazing. So means that is a positive change. We have reclaimed the land, we have from unproductive land to we have converted that into a productive land. That is the meaning of reclamation. So that is a positive change. Next is degraded land low severity, degraded high severity. First, in 2003, this was under the high severity, but the same area, because of the good practices that we have adopted, has converted into low severity. Means the severity level has improved. Now it is going towards the on going towards the productivity of the land, means the severity is reduced, and that is shown by light green in color. In throughout the country you can see how the practices that the government and the state government has done, and the area has converted. Then you have got some area that is shown in orange color or yellow color, that previously it was under the low severity, but now it has converted from low severity to high severity. Means that is a point of concern, especially you will be seeing in Rajasthan and few areas in the northeast and in Jammu and Kashmir. Means previously it was less serious, now it's very serious. Means that is a negative change, and this is the most dangerous thing, that previously there was no degradation category available. Means that was a productive land, but now it has converted itself into a degraded land. Means now the land is lost. Means or fertile land is now converted itself to a land degradation category. So that is of great concern, and you can see that the changes that has happened, how much area we have reclaimed, that a positive change, and how much area we have lost, that is a negative change. So same color is represented in the form of area. So such kind of maps and statistics can be prepared using satellite remote sensing, and you can do such kind of studies at your master's level. That will be of great help to the country, and you can have good scientific publication in good publication houses. Now this 78 districts were taken, DSM change analysis. Here we have taken, in the previous it was advanced wild field scanner sensor was taken. Now we have taken a better resolution, and only few this blue color whatever we have represented will be taken into consideration, and will be using this data sets for using lease 3. So we can see that how different states and districts have been taken as a sample study for further analysis. So we have taken from all over the country, and various districts has been taken for preparation of this land degradation map. So you can see that this is a satellite images of 2011 and 13. So you can see that maximum portion is a agricultural land, but this color near to the rivers, you can see this blue color being shown. What is this blue color is indicative of land with scrub. Then this is the major problem, that this area should not increase. If this will increase, means in and around you have got productive agricultural land. If this area will increase, means your productive land will decrease, and that is of great concern to the ministry. Thereafter you can see this white pages along this boundary, means that is a salt affected lands. So you have to have a check on this area as well, because their area should not expand, because if they will expand, the productivity land will be converted into land dissertation category. So you can see that without going into the field, on the basis of the various say color, tone, texture, pattern association. We can classify the various land degradation category, and on the basis of this, finally we'll be digitizing all those features using the satellite images, and thereafter we'll be preparing such kind of map that will be of great help to the society, to the humankind. So you can see that what is the change in that area, what was there in 2003, what is there in 2011, and you can see that the area is previously in 2003 it was 3400 uh, 48, now it is 2853, means the area has decreased, but somewhere the area has increased. So we have to check for what is the reasons where the area is increasing. That is a negative thing that must be avoided, and we should more focus and we should more concentrate on converting this land degradation into negative, means from a unproductive land to productive land. So such kind of analysis can be performed using satellite images. Now, on the basis of all the classification, some of the outcomes or some of the conclude, what we can conclude, that is digital classification is subjective of visual interpretation, that depends on the interpretation capacity of the analyst who is doing the performing this image interpretation. Then you have got multiple collaborative agency, maybe somewhere the manpower is not so good and trained with some other state, so the quality of the mapping, the identifying of the object will be different. Then temporal assessment and monitoring also create the problem. Then vulnerability assessment, that is pressure on the earth surface, impact of climate, human induced activity, that is also very important to assess. And finally we want to combat this desertification. So what you have to do, you have to maintain a long term balance between the demand and the resources, and we have to prevent, we have to conserve, we have to protect our land. And finally this monitoring of the land degradation and land degradation category will be prepared. So, what are the plans? That are the future plans that the Space Application Center has developed. That is R&D, research and development. They will be developing the digital classification technique for mapping land degradation, because the visual interpretation is a very time-consuming operation. It takes near about 2 to 5 years for compiling all this data, and if we go for digital classification, we can produce the entire statistics within a given period of time. Maybe in 1 year we can have a real understanding, so our efficiency, our commitment will also increase. So we'll be doing various kinds of studies. They'll be selecting the various districts at each level, and we'll be performing this study. So now we have done with least 3. Now we'll be doing with least 4. With the increase in the spatial resolution of the data, we'll be doing the same process that we have adopted. Some of the classes are the same, the vegetation classes, the process of desertification, severity, all are same. Only the what we say, the satellite images with high resolution will be changed. Thereafter, we'll be doing vulnerability assessment. How we'll be doing this vulnerability assessment? Will be taking the ancillary data, satellite data, census data. Thereafter, we'll be identifying the parameters and we'll be generating the various indices related to water, related to vegetation, related to snow, related to land degradation. Thereafter, we'll be developing the various models which can predict, which can suggest us what can be the future scenario using GIS based multi criteria analysis, where we'll be using deep learning, machine learning, artificial intelligence, neural networks, AHP, to provide a real desertification status of that area, and developing an automated tool for deriving the desertification vulnerability and the indexes, so that our area, for the time that we are taking, will reduce, and finally will be preparing a desertification vulnerability index. And for combating this plan, what we have to do, we have to take the satellite images, ancillary data, ground truthing, then we'll be doing the land use mapping will be done, land capacity mapping will be done, slopes identification, groundwater potential, and all these layers will be overlaid in GIS, and we'll be using the multi-parameter, multi-thematic, multi-criteria analysis to get a composite land development unit where the people will be participating, where the decision rules will be taken so as to reduce this land degradation categories, and we can have a more good socio-economic category and the region in that area, so that the people have a good standard life of living. What is the expected outcome? Techniques will be automated, so the time will decrease, the efficiency will increase, the new high resolution satellite data will be taken into consideration, and we can have a more high scale map at a lesser small scale maps can be prepared at the block level, at a district level, so that minute level planning can be done at block level, at panchayat level, at village level, and will have more capacity building with combating institution. Will try to incorporate more peoples to our thinking, understanding, will make the people who are living in that area aware, will go for publication, presentations in national and international conferences, seminar, and symposium. And this were the partner institution who were working for creation of this atlases by Government of India. You can see the various regional remote sensing center, whether it comes of Jodhpur, New Delhi, Ranchi, Nagpur, Ahmedabad, each and every regional remote sensing centers helps the government to make such kind of atlases in map. So we have already done, and this is the final atlases that the Government of India Space Application Center has made based on IRS AVIPS 2011-13 and 2003-5. This atlas is free. You can download it, you can read it, you can map, and you can see what are the classification techniques, what are the states, which kind of degradation categories are available in that area, and you can have a real-time analysis at the village level, ground level, block level, whatever comes to your mind, you can do that. So this is all that is for today. Now we'll have 10 minutes of group discussion and a quiz. I think that most of you have understood what we have done today. Yeah, Rahul?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then with this, I'll stop my presentation. Have a great
Okay.
day and bye.
Thank you, sir.